If you're a quantity surveyor, construction project manager, or cost manager, this video is for you. This video is the second part of a series of videos we are making on the use of the ADLM PlanSwift plugin for full BOQ preparation. In the first part of this video, we looked at how to make use of this PlanSwift plugin for the substructure, where we looked at raft foundation. You can check out the link of that video up above. We'll take this a step further by looking at how to make use of this plugin for takeoff for the next frame of work, which is the frames. In this video, we'll be looking at column, beam, slab takeoff. How do we take off for the concrete reinforcement and formwork? Let's get into the video.
Hello everyone, good day. So let's pick things up from where we stopped in the last video series on quantity takeoff. Okay, so let's check out the plugin. Still not here, so we can just easily sign in back, then reload PlanSwift. So once you see that the plugin template is not there, so what you just do is you have to re-sign in to the plugin app. So once you re-sign in and reload PlanSwift, you get the template back. Okay, so 1 minute, let's see. Okay, so I'll sign in my login details. So sign in. Okay, sign in successful. Okay. So once I've signed in already, I can now restart PlanSwift. Okay, now that I've signed in successfully, you see the template for the plugin in here back. So let's get back to work. Now, last video we talked about substructure takeoff and build preparation. So we'll take things a little bit further from here by looking at our frame takeoff. So we're looking at column, beam, and slab takeoff in this section. Okay, so check to the drawing. I've seen, let's check what the drawing. These are ground floor slab details. Okay, so for raft foundation, that's what we've done earlier. Then the ground floor beam, which we've done in the last video. So now we have our first floor slab. So I'll scale the page for our first floor slab here. So I'm using this 2.81. So scale 2.801 is what I'm using here. So I'll pick from the first point to the next point. Then for the other side, I'll be using this 6.995. So I'll scale this 6.995. Okay. So I'll pick from this point down to the next point. There's a kind of small error. These are possible errors that's possible during scaling. So I have to rescale that page. So I click on scale. So I'll name it 6.995. Okay. So I can press M on my keyboard to magnify. So M to magnify. So I'll pick from that point. Then to the top here. Okay, good. Now you see your scale is now correct. So that's for first floor slab. Then beam, slab. Then last one is our roof beam. So scale the page for our roof beam also. On scale. Then that'll be 2.801. Okay. So I'll pick from the first point to the next point. Then the other side also. Scale. So that was 6.995. Okay. So from here down to the next point. Okay, good. Then that's this. I have our column details. Then our staircase. Okay, so this staircase page also. Let me just scale this page. This will be 1.65. So scale, and that'll be 1.65 because I'm scaling in meters. That'll be from down here down to the top here. Okay, good. So once I'm done with this, I'll come back to my page here. This is basically my workflow. So I'll come to frame, then beam first. So since I'm measuring floor by floor, this is first floor. So I can just let's start with the column first. Since we've done the substructure, let's just start with the column for this here. So our column is 230 by 230 by 3.4. I'll open up column here, concrete in column. So the height is 3.4. That's the height of this column here, as stated here. Okay, now this is the height to the top of the slab. So you have to remove the bottom of slab, so that will be minus 0.15. Then number of floor is 1. Number of column is 33. That's this here, 33. Then the length is 0.23, and the width is also 0.23. So basically, as a QS, I'll just taking off what you have in the drawing. That's what you are doing basically. So the folder name now becomes ground. Okay, that's the folder name for this ground floor. We have to click OK, then select this. So that's for this part. Then for first floor also, I can just do the same ones for us since I'm on this page. So I'll click on concrete in column. So the height also is there, is down to the roof left, so I'll just take it all complete, 3.4. Then number of floor is 1. Number of column is 33. The length is 0.23, and the width is also 0.23. So basically, this is how you just go about it for a simple building. Okay, so once you are done with this, you can just come back to where we have our beam layout. So we're back to where we have our beam layout here. So the size of the beam, let's check it is consistent. 225 by 450 is the size for all the beam here. So let's work with that. Then we have 300 by 300 here. So for 225 by 450 beam, so we are done with column, we can close this here. Column in floor plan, beam floor plan, and concrete in beam floor plan. So we are measuring from the floor plan. This is what we are using. So this is what we select. The number of floor is 1. Slab thickness, we're given the slab thickness as 0.15. The width is 0.225, and the thickness is 0.45. So that's for this. Then is inside first floor folder. Whoa. So I'll name this first floor. But I'll come back to, you see there's something wrong with column, which is one of the mistakes you might make. So I'll talk about that very soon. So I'll click first, okay. It's very important for you to understand the drawing very well when you're doing your quantity takeoff. You know the difference between your grid line and your beam lines. Okay, now I'm done with the 230 by 450 beam. So I move to the 300 by 300 beams. So number of floor is 1. Slab thickness 0.15. Let's see, slab gets to this point. The slab is negative, so we don't need to include the slab thickness. So the beam is 0.0 by 0.0. Okay. So we have this here. We have this here. And we have this. Okay. So based on that, I think that's all with our beam. Then we'll just come back to slab. See, if we have lift walling, there's no lift walling in this design, so we'll leave that out. Concrete in slab is what we'll pick now. Turn this on. So the slab thickness is 0.15. The number of floor is 1. Okay. So with this now, you can just quickly do something like this. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're learning something new. So your subscription and you liking this video really helps us a long way to keep making more videos. Also share to your friends and your colleague in the industry. Okay. See, this is, I said, you always take note of the lines. They are very important for you to understand the drawing. These are your cantilever slabs. I'm sure for many of you will be wondering, how about the deduction of the thickness of the slab form? That's what we did earlier when we're doing the beam takeoff, that we had to add the slab thickness. That has deducted for the slab aspect to avoid overlaps. So at this point here, let's deduct for our staircase opening. I'll just right click on this, my takeoff here, point to point. Then I would just deduct for my staircase opening. So basically, I'm literally just translating what was in the design before. So okay, now there's something here. You see there's a beam here and there's another beam here. I have to take note of that. So I'll just click yes, then turn this on, continue my takeoff. So this stops in here and this beam stops in here. I think I'm good. So that's all for that. That's for your first floor. Then for your roof beam and probably roof slab, if there's a slab there. Okay, so that's your 225 by 450, 225 by 450, 225 by 300. You see, so we have to be careful at this point. Let's see if we have another layout. There's no other layout, so we still that layout we have to work with. Okay, so it is quite clumsy, but we find our way. Now on the beam floor plan, turn this on. Number of floor is 1. Here we don't have a slab thickness. X means void, so there's not slab thickness there. Width is 0.225. Then thickness is 0.3. The folder this time around is now roof. Okay, so I'll pick from this point. This is this here. So basically trace this out. This is still to 300. So it's very clumsy drawing. So you have to be very careful. Then pick this point. Then if it is 450, at this point this stops here. It is 450 here. You have to make sure that you're picking the right things. Okay. It stops here, and this is 450. I think we're done. Okay. Okay, we're done with that. So let's switch for 450. Number of floors is 1. Slab thickness 0.15. Width is 0.225. And the thickness of this is 0.45. Okay, so let's go. So pick from this point here. So because I have my make sure snap and auto is always on. Mine is on snap and auto, they are turned on. So it makes it easier for me to maneuver around. Okay, and that's all for beam. There's a slight gap here which has to be fixed, so I can just drag this back up. Good. So for the roof slab, that's this here. Slab thickness is 0.15. Number of floors is 1. This comes back here. So easily do this. Please, if you have any question at this point, you can leave your questions in the comment section of this video. I will surely get you a response. So for beam, the 450 beam, there's one here. Okay. So we're going with beam slab. Then for staircase also comes easy. So inside the plugin templates in here, we have the staircase aspect. Okay, so that's this here staircase. We have concrete and reinforcement, so just come to concrete here. Now first thing is you count the number of steps and we have here. So that's 1 and just 3 plus 11, that's 14. So step thickness of our steps is so the step is just ground to first. So thickness of the step is what do we have here as a thickness? Yeah, that's this here, 200 is our thickness as given at this point. That's 0.2. Number of steps is 14. Number of floors 1. Number of that staircase on the plan is just 1. We already have it on one place in ground floor folder. Just already took this thickness, so we just pick this from here to here. That's the only thing you pick. Okay, so that's the only information you need to pick from the drawing. Now for your string also, your string return is on. The width of your string, let's check. This is 1.75 from this point to this one. So I'm going to pick this point. So I just come to dimension, pick from this end. That's 1.35, 1.55, and the actual staircase itself should be 1.1. Okay, 1.1 is the actual width of the staircase. So I'll come to string here. This width here, that will be 0.2. Thickness is 1.1. Number of staircases is 1. Number of floors is 1. Just going 1 floor. So I'll pick from this point down to this point. Then for this also I'll do the same. What I'll do here is I'll just pick from here because I want to factor in for my tool. So I'll just pick this from here, stop, then I'll come here, then drag it down to the base. Make sure it aligns perfectly. So that is that for this. So with this now we are done with the aspect. Then for landing, our landing is around here. So just come to landing, and thickness is, let's still use the 0.2. Number of staircase 1. Number of floors 1. Okay, so I'll change this to box, from point to point to box, and just draw this box here. Okay, so I'll change that to box, right click, stop. So I'm done with the landing. So that's all for the staircase. Now that I'm done, come back to my takeoff summary. So we have a lot of information here already. Now there's a mistake I made. This column, okay, right click, go to page. Okay, to this one up here, I'll bring this back into first floor. Good. Then there's an issue here. Number of columns 33. Okay, good. So now that that is sorted, let's now fix our reinforcement issues. Now for this point here, number of bars in column is 4 bar by 16. So just double click on this length of bar. That will be your 0.4 plus 800. The extra here is 800. That's this 800 here. That's 0.8. Number of bar is 4, and the size of bar is 16. Okay. So is this principle you literally apply to any kind of drawing as a QS? Okay. Then reinforcement bar for this here, your diameter is 10, your cover is 25 mm, so 0.025. Then the number of covers on the two sides. Your link spacing is 0.175, center to center. Then just click OK. Now in the situation where you have multiple links, like you have this, you see you have square, or you have like another internal link, another internal link, so you can use this aspect here, these extra links to include that. But if you don't have, just use this. It's just a single link. But for multiple links, you can use the extra links in here. Okay, so that solves that. So that's for this. And I'm done with ground floor, and then concrete in column. Okay, let's do for the next floor also before we come back to beam. Same for 16. So yeah, we're not adding any extra, so just be 0.4 plus just the bend. There's always like kind of tiny bend. I'll just 0.15 as the extra for bend. The number of bar is 4, size of bar is 16. Then okay. Then column links. Okay, diameter of your bar is 10 mm. There is the cover is 0.025. Number of cover is 2 sides. Link spacing is 0.175. Okay, so that solves that. So let me just go right click here, go to page this. So I'm on this page now. So inside this page I can just click. Let's see what we have for our beam details. So we have 216 up, 216 down, 10 links. You get 216. To check the drawing, it's literally 216, 216. So this length you can either use this method I'm showing now, or the second method, whichever works for your project. If it's consistent, if the perpendicular is consistent, you use that. If it's not, you use the other one. So let's use the first. Let me show you the first method. Set your beam floor plan in here. Reinforcement in beam, double click. Then your extra here is just for your overlaps and all. So use your experience as a QS. So for this kind of beam, I'm using extra 6 meters, or I'll use like 4 meters, depending on which your waste factor you can use as a QS. That is left to be determined by the QS on the project when you are probably doing your takeoff. So top bar, we are using 16 mm up. Bottom bar, we are using 16. Is there a mid bar? No. Probably sometimes another thing you can do is to walk around this. Probably you have theory at some point and just use that 16, then you just put 1. That's another funny walk around you can do. But for me there, there's nothing, so I'll just leave this blank. The bottom bar is 2, top bar is 2. Okay, so that's that. For your links, double click. The size of your links is 10 mm. Link spacing is what's your link spacing? 250, 0.25. Okay, that's all. So if you have extra links in here too, you can always come to the extra and put in your extra links if there is any. Okay, so that's 425 by 450. Do we have the 300? Are we giving the 300 details? Nope. Okay, so just do the same. So we just use two on top, 2 at the bottom, since we're not giving details. Let's go in here. Okay, so my extra can just use probably 1 meter for extra, since it's just a very short beam. Okay, top bar diameter is 16, bottom is 16. Then top bar number is probably have top bar 2, middle, bottom bar 2. Okay, then for your links, as your 10 mm diameter links to 50 spacing on one floor. Okay, so with this now, that's the first method, the fastest method, or use your formula if concrete to beam ratio. Then the other method is inside beam here, you have something called 0 mm bar in beam. This is in here, 0 mm bar in beam. So you can just click this. So with this check, we have 216, 2y16. So use this here. Click on this. I need to scale the page first. So then we scale this page. Scale 2.8. Okay. So I pick from this point to this point. And for vertical scale 4.45. You can scale 0.45. Okay. So you pick from this point to this point. Okay. Now that you've done that, this in beam, click here. So the number of bar is 2. That's 2. Number of the beam is 1 beam. Unless you have, if you have typical of that beam type, you just put the number. But if it's not typical, just put 1. And diameter of this is 16. Then it's on first floor level. Okay. So what you do here is pick. So you draw it. I like picking all of these hooks. So we go this point. Okay. Then this. Then this. And try here also you go with this. So let's check this here. It's also saying 2y16. So this is how you go about it. So you have to pick for all of your beam. Okay. Now we check this design. So I've been picking this for so long. I have this top and bottom. They are both the same 2y16, and they literally both have the same layout. What I'll just do is just multiply this quantity by 2. So that will be number by 2 times 2. That's for this bottom and top. Okay, that's taking care of that. This one, so I still have the same thing, so I can pick like that, multiplied by 2. So that's how you go about it and pick if you have this. So you can either use this to pick your beam or use the other one, depending on the time you have to do what you need to do. Okay. Same goes for slab. Inside slab here, the slab details here. There's 8y12, 15y14, 15y12. So you can use this remember in slab, and you just trace and pick the way you'd have picked manually. So that we'll be able to pick all of similar reinforcement type. So you have the 2 options. Do you get? So you either use this straight bar or use formula. So once you are done with your takeoff now, I'll open the plugin app now. Okay, so we have this here. Then our build that we are working on, I have to open that up. So this is the build we are working on. So close. I want to view this later. Okay. So once I do this, I'll just split my screen to 2. So I have my plugin on one side and the plugin up on one side and this on the other side. So like I said, you can choose to either prepare your build. This is floor by floor, from ground floor to first floor slab. So I'll just come down to ground floor here. My column slab, there's no lift wall or concrete walls. I'll just delete this. Okay, I'm just editing a build format to suit my workflow. Lintels, then column. For now, we don't have lintels, column. Okay, good. So my slab for first floor slab, so you know it's ground floor to first floor slab. So I'll come in here. My first floor slab is 15.5. That's 16. Your beam is 6.18. That's 7. So that's added those 2 beam types and everything, has given us the final quantities. And then staircase, so I add all the concrete and staircase together. That will be equal to 0.3 plus 0.8 plus 0.31 plus 0.83 plus 0.23, approximately 2. Detail, we've not done that yet. Then for column, that's 6. So just for the price here equal to the rates. Yeah. So this rate we're getting from the ADLM rate gen. That is this software here. So if you have the Revit PlanSwift plugin and you have the rate gen, it's super duper easy for you. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the rate gen. So I'll sign in. Same login details I use for the PlanSwift plugins what I'll use for the rate gen. So I'll just sign in. Password. Okay, so signed in successfully. So you see, I updated this here because on my account on the profile I changed my location. So if I'm to bring this up, let me show you. So this website launches very soon. So you've seen on my profile is of North Central. So I can just pick any of these zones. Okay, so it recognizes that my profile was switched to North Central recently. So that's Abuja and the likes. So updates my prices. So I click yes, update. So it automatically updates the rate gen prices. So that zone tells me price on North Central updated. Okay, that is for this year. So if I'm to change, probably I want to change my prices for probably Lagos. Let's say the project is in Lagos. So I can just do is change my location here to Southwest. Save. So this saves that already. Then with the rate gen, I'll probably log out, then log in back. So you notice that I've changed my location to Southwest. Yes, it automatically changes my location to Southwest prices. Okay, my prices to Southwest prices rather. So once I've done that and I'm seeing prices for Southwest, so I can just come down to concrete. Yeah, so my concrete of 124 mix basically is 122.8. So I change my profit and overhead to 10% overhead, 10% profit. That's 147. So I have my rate in here. I can either use this rate. Okay, so that is how you can get your rate for your bill in the rate gen. We'll still come back and talk about this by the end of this series when we are pricing the bill. For now, our focus is just on quantities. I don't just like seeing all this ref on my bills. Super, it annoys me. That's why I'm trying to quickly fix that up. Okay. So that's for this. So we are done with concrete. For column formwork, that's this here. We have 99. We don't have lift wall, so we'll take lift wall out of it. Okay. So for our edges, all of your edges, so all the meter calculation. So we have thread formwork that's equal to 3.08. Now we have 4 plus string. String is in here. We have 7.52. That's 8 plus landing, edges of landing. That's 4.31. I use 5 here. Then plus the last one for first floor slab, edges of slab. That's for most edges of slab. I'm using 61.48. That's 62. Good. So when I'm done with that, I can just do equal to this times 0.3 to get my cost in. This for this. Then formwork to slab. That's soffit of slab. That's 104. Landing, formwork to landing. Soffit of landing. That's 1.16. That's 2. Sloping soffit of stairs. That's 5. Beam formwork. First floor. Beam formwork. That's 79. That's 80. Later we don't have that yet, so take that off. Equal to this. Good. So we are done with that. Our reinforcement. Also, I'm using a factor of this here. So you can use this factor for fast, or if you don't use factor, you can just do is take it the long route. So I'll just Ctrl C, insert copied cell, highlight these two, Ctrl C, insert copied cell, Ctrl C, insert copied cell. You see why I'm doing this very soon. Ctrl C, and insert copied cell. Good. So this is in columns, then check my column here, column, concrete in column. I have 16 and 10, so the next one is 16 bar in column. Okay, then for beam also, first floor beam 10 and 16, so I can just copy these two, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So I'll just change this from columns to beam. Then for slab, I can just do 10 to 12 mm slab. Then for this also 10 to 12 mm in staircase. Then 10 to 12 in lintel. Okay, good. Once I'm done, click this, delete. Block work, there's nothing of block work, not measured that yet. Reinforcement equal to the reference point up here. Okay. So when you link your build like this, it makes it easier for you to work in future. Okay, good. So my column here, ground floor column, so that'll be 0.356, 0.88. Then for beam that'll be 0.26, then 0.31. That's this, because it's in ton. You get, because this is in tons. For slab, that'll be equal to, I can just do slab times 0.15 or 0.12 depending on how the level of reinforcement. Then equal to staircase, this times 0.15. Then lintel is opened, this times 0.15. Okay, so we have that done. So that's for this. Is like basically my workflow. Okay, then finishes. We've not done architectural parts. Ceiling should be empty. Let should still be empty for now. We'll come back to that later. Okay. So still come back to fill up all of this and finish up the view. So that's for ground to first. Now let's move on from first floor to roof level. So I'll just roof level. Okay, good. So let me just change the name of this to roof slab, roof beam, no staircase, no. Good. So just keep this like this. Then I'll come back to inside first and roof. So I'm going for my first floor to roof beam. So my roof slab is 5 meter cube. That's what I have in here. So it's in here, the inside this here. Then roof beam is 6 meter cube. Then your lintel, there's no lintel, we've not done measured for lintel yet. Then column in first floor, that's 6 also. Nice. So now for lift wall goes off, edges, okay, slab, landing, there's no staircase, so subject of slab, landing, okay, so I'll delete this off. Then lintel, inside lintel here, after lintel we have beam, so I'll just copy. Is my beam details, Ctrl C, copy, then come down in here. Okay, then inside here, insert. Okay, good. So we have this here. So for column, first floor column, we have 104. Then to edges, that's inside roof here, slab edges, we have 47. Then your slab, soffit of slab 32. Then beam, formwork to beam, that's 53. The lintel goes off. Then reinforcement, you can just come back to what I've previously done in here. Highlight this, Ctrl C, and come down to reinforcement in here. Inside copy itself, makes our work easier. Delete this. So column, we have our column. Formwork to column, we have 0.36, 0.75, 74. Then for beam, roof beam, okay, we've now included. So for roof beam, let's just open back PlanSwift, and I think this is the page for our roof beam details. So it's 216, 216, 10, still same, 216, 216, 10. So let's come back in here, inside roof here, roof beam, floor plan. Okay, so for inside roof beam floor plan here, I would select reinforcement in beam. I'll use my 6 meters, top bar 16, 2, bottom bar 16, 2. Then okay. Then for links also, that will be a 10 mm links, spacing is 0.175 based on what we have in here. Then in here also, I'll use my 1 meter. Then top part, I probably use 2 meters here. That's for the 230 by 450 beam. So top bar diameter is 16, 12. Number is 2, 2, 3, 2 to 5. For this one, we have the spacing as 150. Okay, so we change this link spacing for this 10 mm diameter, 0.15 spacing. Okay, so that's good. So what we'll do now is just come back to the plugin, reload. So just press the reload button to reload your measurement. So once you reload, come back to roof again, and roof. So we have our measurement in here. Here's 6 coming from. It's supposed to be 16, not 6. So let's see what we've probably done here. Okay, so reinforcement in beam is 16, not 6. Okay, so I just click on reload again. So instead of me going out and coming back in, now that I just need to click on is reload, and it reloads my takeoff. So in here, so my beam, okay, good. So we have the beam details for roof here. So my 10 mm by is 0.28, and my 16 mm by is 0.53. Then for slab, equal to roof slab times 0.15. Staircase, we don't have staircase here, so I'll take this off. Then lintel, okay. Go to this. Let me fix all these ref issues. This times 0.3. Then this. Okay. Then this. Okay. So we have not measured our block work, so that goes off. So we'll come back to all of this in geotime. Okay, so next when we get to architectural works, takeoff and all of that, you'll see how we came about all of these quantities. So I'll just delete all of this existing to make this view empty. So that's what we'll be using. Okay, so in the next series, in the next episode, we'll be looking at roof. Then after roof, we'll expect to look at architectural works, architectural elements such as block walls and finishes. So we'll basically finish up the build for this project in this series. So don't forget to like this video and drop your questions in the comment section if you have any question, and we'll get back to you. Have a nice day.
Kindly subscribe to this channel, like this video, as more videos will be coming up on this series. Thank you.